to me.
Graduates, please be seated. Good morning. Welcome to all of you. My name is Brian McAdoo. I'm the Director of Undergraduate Studies for Earth and Climate Science here at the Nicholas School of the Environment, and I was where you were many, many years ago as a graduate of Earth and Climate Sciences in the class of 1991. So I had to point that out real quick. Today with all of you, we celebrate the accomplishments of our extraordinary students who have had the privilege to get to know for the last 4 years. I'm privileged to work with a world-class team of faculty and staff who engage with these fine young adults that you have raised. And I want to recognize some of the members of that team now. First, the Director of Undergraduate Studies who guide your students through their academic programs, advising them on everything from research opportunities to study abroad to summer internships and, of course, which classes to take. I'll also introduce the staff members who keep everything running smoothly in our programs. First is Dr. Bill Pan, Director of Undergraduate Studies for Environmental Sciences and Policy Program. Dr. Dalia Patino-Echeverri, Associate Director of Undergraduate Studies for the Environmental Sciences and Policy Program. Dr. Tom Schultz, Director of Undergraduate Studies for the Marine Science and Conservation Programs. Dr. Megan Dunphy-Daly, Director of the Duke Marine You knew that was coming. Director of the Duke University Marine Laboratory Scholars Program and the Associate Dean for Experiential Education in undergraduate research. Supporting our environmental sciences and policy and earth and climate science programs here on the Durham campus, we have the incomparable Bailey Starnes. And supporting our work at the Marine Science and Conservation Program at the Marine Lab are Katie Wood, Gwendy Romble, Kathleen Dunn, Aaron Voigt, and Amanda Cole. In addition, we'd like to offer a big thank you for our wonderful staff members who are helping with the undergraduate ceremony today. Seated beside the stage are some of the faculty who have taught our students and advised them, mentored them in research, and taken them on transformative field experiences all around the world. We have faculty from our campus here in Durham, as well as the Marine Lab in Beaufort, North Carolina, our campus on the coast. First, I have to share a few logistics for this morning. Today, we award diplomas to each of our undergraduate majors and celebrate some special awards. A reception will follow outside on the patio area at the Wilson Rec Center, where we'll get a chance to meet with all of you on this glorious day. On a note on photography, you're welcome at any time to come up and photograph your student. Students, immediately after the ceremony, will take a group photo here on the stage. So don't run away until we've actually done that, okay? We want to acknowledge also the indigenous people whose land Duke community works, studies, and lives. What is now Durham was the original territory of several native nations, including the Tutilo, Saponi-speaking peoples. Many of their communities were displaced or killed through war, disease, and colonial expansion. Today, the triangle is surrounded by contemporary native nations, the descendants of the Tutilo and Saponi, and other indigenous groups who have survived early colonization. These nations include the Halawai Saponi, the Saponi, and the Okinichi Band of Saponi. North Carolina's Research Triangle is also home to a thriving Native American community that represents Native nations from all across the United States. Together, these indigenous nations and communities contribute to North Carolina's ranking as the state with the largest Native American population east of Oklahoma. Now I'm pleased to introduce our dean, Dr. Lori Bernier, the Spanback Dean of the Nicholas School of the Environment. Dr. Bernier began a 2-year term as interim Spanback Dean of the Nicholas School of the Environment on the 1st of July, 2023. Dean Bernier is a professor of energy economics and policy at the Nicholas School of the Environment and holds secondary appointments at Duke in the Department of Economics and in the Sanford School of Public Policy. She received her PhD in public policy from Harvard in 2004. Sorry, I couldn't help that. It gets better. An MA from Yale in 1996, and a BA from the fantastic small liberal arts college, Occidental College in Los Angeles in 1995. Her research evaluates the effectiveness of environmental policies, including information disclosure laws, management-based regulations, liability regimes, and demand-side management programs. She's applied these assessments across many global environmental domains, including energy, toxicology, and drinking water fields, making her the perfect dean for our school. Her work as interdisciplinary has resulted in numerous scientific publications in journals ranging from economics to general interest science journals. Dean Bernier will say a few words and award diplomas to each of our students. We're delighted that she can be here to participate in this important day for our graduates.
Good morning, everybody. That was almost okay. Good morning, everybody. All right, there we go. As Dr. McAdoo said, I'm Lori Bernier, and I'm the interim Spanback Dean at the Nicholas School of the Environment. Students, today, the Nicholas School of the Environment honors your hard work and accomplishments, and we offer congratulations to the members of your family and your friends who are here with us and who supported you in your time at Duke. This is a joyous day where we get a chance to brag on you and celebrate all of your amazing accomplishments over the last 4 years. And we should pause to recognize that this has been a challenging year, particularly for some in our community. I want to acknowledge the pain, anger, anxiety, and frustration that many feel. Those feelings reflect the passion that animates your work to make our world a better place. But this weekend, I want to ask that within all of those emotions, we carve out a giant place for joy. You and your classmates deserve to be celebrated. And this is especially true for this class, since most of you were deprived of the chance to celebrate your high school graduation back in 2020. So friends and family and fellow graduates, do not be shy. You do not need to wait for the end for a polite clap. When your student walks across the stage, I want to hear you celebrate them, okay? It is important to take time to mark these special moments because tomorrow, or maybe next week, or next month, and I hope not much beyond that for the parents, the next adventure in your life will begin. And that adventure will bring new joys and new challenges. And I suspect many of you have thought over the past month, oh, if I just get through these last classes, if I just get through finals, if I just get through graduation, things will get easier. There's a fantastic video I recommend of Duke women's basketball coach Kara Lawson talking with her team about exactly these sentiments. She says, we can't wait for life to get easier. Things don't get easier. We learn how to handle hard better. I don't do tattoos, but if I did, I would get one that said handle hard better. Instead, I've just bought this shirt. If you think back to when you first arrived at Duke, in the middle of a pandemic, without a roommate, spread out over campus, you probably had lots of expectations of what you would learn and do as part of your degree program, and hopefully your educational goals have been fulfilled. You've learned about climate change science and policy, plate tectonics, marine megafauna, and many, many other topics. You've participated in some of the extraordinary co-curricular activities such as Bass Connections, Duke Engaged, Study Abroad, the Marine Lab Scholars Programs, clubs, tutoring, sports, student government, music, arts, startups, ROTC, the list goes on and on and on. But I'm confident that if you reflect on these past few years, you will also recognize that you gained a whole set of resources that will enable you to go out and handle hard better. Perhaps the greatest of those resiliency resources are the classmates sitting around you here today and tomorrow at Wallace Wade. These are your fellow champions for the environment, and more broadly, champions for making this world a better place. When that work gets hard, and it will get hard, this is your support network. If that dream job doesn't turn out to be so dreamy, this is the network that can help you connect to new opportunities. These will be the people who celebrate at your wedding, bring you a large coffee and a casserole when that new baby just won't sleep, and sit with you when you experience loss. On professional and personal levels, you can draw strength from this community. And it isn't just these students sitting with you today, but the nearly 200,000 Duke alumni worldwide. You are now part of that powerful, and may I also say, really fun club, and I hope you take full advantage of it. Across the globe, there will be regional alumni events that provide you with an opportunity to engage and stay connected. Over the years, it's been my privilege to work closely with the Duke Alumni Association and attend many regional events, and I can honestly say that the power of this network is unmatched. You earned a degree, you paid a lot of money, not to mention time, sweat, and tears. Lifetime access to an amazing community of alums might be the most valuable of your Duke assets. And I suspect if you find a brief period of peace over the next week or so to reflect on your experience, you will realize you picked up other resources these last 4 years that will help you handle hard better. Whether that is time management skills, ability to prioritize, strategies to manage difficult team members, or strategies to tackle difficult conversations with people in power. On many levels, those skills, as much as the skills you learned from us in the classroom, are what will enable you to flourish in the hard work that we've all chosen to engage in, the work of protecting, preserving, and managing our precious environment. Keep learning from the hard. I can't tell you life will get easier, but I can confidently say that you will be able to handle hard better. And the world needs you out there handling the hard now more than ever. The skills and knowledge you have acquired as an ECS, ENV, or MSc major, and the resiliency, creativity, empathy, and resourcefulness you've honed over these past years sets your class apart. Some of you have clearly stated plans for your post-graduation careers. In some cases, those plans pertain to environmental work, and of course, that makes me really happy. In other cases, they don't, but that's okay too. No matter what you do next, I hope you carry forward some aspects of your experience as an earth and ocean or earth and climate science major, an environmental science and policy major, or marine science and conservation major into the work that you do. When you become leaders, whether in the world of environmental science and policy or in the worlds of finance, government, law, medicine, or the private sector, I do hope you'll use your education, insight, and influence to advance sustainability. Whatever comes next, please keep us informed of your post-Duke lives unfold. We regularly profile alums on our website and in my weekly newsletter, and I'd really love to see you featured there. Visit us when you're back on campus for reunions and other events. Think about basketball or soccer, women's basketball. And in between visits, you can be a member of our community by joining us on our social platforms. You've evolved, transformed, and changed over the past 4 years. The world has changed enormously over the last 4 years, and your job is to go out there and change it some more. You've acquired knowledge, but also skills that will enable you to handle the hard work better. I sleep better at night, knowing the world is in your strong and capable hands. So I wish you all the best, and again, congratulations.
Now I'm pleased to present you with the graduates of the Earth and Climate Sciences program. Would the Earth and Ocean Sciences and Earth and Climate Science graduates please gather at the right side of the stage? Following graduates are receiving their Bachelor of Science in Earth and Ocean Sciences. I said the following graduates, but I believe this is the last time we'll actually have an Earth and Science graduate. Christian Campbell. Christian also minored in computer science and was a Rachel Carson Scholar at the Duke Marine Lab. He studied population structure of bottlenose dolphins off the coast. This fall, he plans to apply to graduate school and to explore the intersection of marine ecology and geology. Now, the following students are receiving the Bachelor of Science in Earth and Climate Sciences. Rhett Graywall. Rhett also pursued a minor in history and a certificate in energy and the environment. He researched the levels of lead in soils of local parks here in Durham, North Carolina, under supervision of Dr. Daniel Richter, and even studied abroad in Australia last summer. In addition to this, Rhett was also a student manager of the football team here at Duke for the last 3 seasons. After graduation, Rhett will be attending law school at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Congratulations, Rhett. Anya Gupta. Anya also pursued a degree in environmental science, plus a minor in Hindi language. She conducted undergraduate geology research on the Stillwater Complex, host to the world's highest grade platinum palladium deposit, and was the president of the Duke Running Club. One of her favorite parts of university was TAing introductory calculus. Woo! After graduation, she'll be a park ranger at Yosemite with plans to work in geotechnical consulting following her end of her park service season. Congratulations, Anya. Yuan Kim. Yuan also pursued a certificate in energy and the environment. Yuan is passionate about AI-enabled groundwater modeling, a topic she has researched at various nuclear sites through the thesis on the High Plains Aquifer. She was also on Duke's ski and snowboard team, and after graduation, she'll hope to complete research with the Sandia National Lab before working at EPIC. Congratulations, Yuan. Emily Nagamoto. Emily also majored in computer science and minored in environmental science and policy. For the last 3 years, she's worked in Professor Drew Schindell's lab, researching the health co-benefits from climate change mitigation. And has also done research with the National Weather Service and the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. As a participant in the UNCCC practicum course, she represented Duke at COP28 in Dubai. She's been involved in the Undergraduate Environmental Research Union for 4 years and was an intern at Sustainable Duke. After graduation, she plans to continue working in climate change, impacts, and research, and will continue with graduate programs in the fall. Congratulations, Emily. Hector Ontiveros Rosales. Hector also pursued a minor in computer science. During his time at Duke, he worked at the Bernhard Lab in freshwater data acquisition and processing for macro sheds and in app development for Hubbard Brook. He was also engaged in a BASC Connections team involving an ongoing geothermal energy project right here on campus. And he'll continue working with this through a partner company this year. Congratulations, Hector. And finally, we have Georgios Strabanides. Georgia, congratulations.
Good morning. I am extremely pleased to present to you the graduates for the Environmental Sciences and Policy program. Will the Environmental Sciences and Policy graduates please gather at the right side of the stage? The following graduates are receiving the Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Sciences and Policy. Betty Alfaro Argueta. Betty also pursued a major in biology and a chemistry minor. She's participated in Duke Engage, working to protect endangered species in the Patagonian foothills. And she spent time at the Duke Marine Lab, where she researched bottlenose dolphins and their cellular responses to low oxygen as a scholar in marine science, marine medicine, and a Bonaventura Fellow. After graduation, Betty plans to pursue her master's in genetics before entering medical school. Congratulations, Betty. Tan Nu Bui. Tan Nu also majored in English. As a Rachel Carson Scholar during her senior year, she worked with the Silman Lab to conduct research on accessible methods of tropical seagrass restoration for her distinction thesis. After graduation, she will take a gap year while applying to law school for a career in environmental law. Congratulations. Jacob Carnes. Jacob also majored in Italian. His concentration in the field was on global climate change, and he conducted research in various locations, including South Africa. Jacob studied abroad in Venice, Italy, where he furthered his studies in both Italian language and culture and global sustainability. Congratulations, Jacob. Nicholas Haddad. Nick pursued a dual major in global health and a minor in chemistry. Nick participated in Duke Engage, where he worked on the renegotiations around the Itaipu Dam in Paraguay. He's also conducted research on the relationship between natural disaster mitigation and health in Pamlico County, North Carolina, through DGHI's SRT program. As a senior, Nick completed a thesis culminating this project. At Duke, Nick has served as a resident assistant, After graduation, he intends to apply for medical school. Congratulations, Nick. Zoe Herlick. Zoe also minored in psychology. She participated in Duke Engage Bahamas, where she conducted research on the effect of tourism on the local environment and the Bahamian government's response to natural disasters. She studied abroad in Copenhagen, where she was the winner of an environmental consulting project with Sustania, an ESG consulting firm. After graduation, she's moving to New York to work at Joel Frank, a strategic financial communications firm, on their ESG team. She plans to get her MBA to further expand her expertise in the realm of sustainable finance. Congratulations, Zoe. Rishab Jagatia. Calling Houston, Texas home, Rishab has spent much of his last few years working in climate activism, environmental justice work, and researching how energy transitions are affecting rural populations. On campus, he has organized extensively with the Transformative Systems Project student group around economic systems change and increasing political consciousness on campus. His undergraduate thesis studies the limitations of prior consultation policy in engaging rural indigenous populations in Colombia around renewable energy infrastructure development. After graduating, he will build upon this research by traveling to Colombia through Duke's Hart Fellowship and researching how communities are participating in the just energy transition. Congratulations, Rishab. Madison Jones. Madison also pursued a major in Italian studies. While a student at Duke, she held executive positions in Duke's chapter of NAACP and Black Women's Union, in which she helped pop the Duke bubble by building lasting relationships between Duke students and the Durham community through volunteer opportunities. Last summer, through the Stand Back Fellowship Program, Madison worked with North Carolina League of Conservation Voters Foundation to strengthen a program that enabled community members to become more involved with their local government. Her classes and extracurricular activities fuel her interest in environmental justice, and she wishes for her future occupation to prevent environmental injustice. For this reason, after graduation, she will be taking a year off from academia to study for the LSATs as she hopes to pursue environmental law in the future. Congratulations, Madison. Victoria Kovarik. Victoria pursued a degree in sociology. During her time as an undergrad, she completed the Sustainability Ambassador certification and helped to lead the program and work on other sustainability projects as a Green Devil. Vic also spent her time running the Duke Students TikTok account and managing marketing efforts for the ACE as Student Athlete Civic Engagement Program. After graduation, Vic will be moving to New York City to work at Goldman Sachs in their Global Banking and Markets Division. Congratulations, Vic. Sean Lee. Sean is an environmental science and policy major, and also, and this is not very usual, an earth and climate science minor. So congratulations, Sean. Ali Manji. Ali also majored in economics. During his time at Duke, he studied abroad in Berlin, was a research assistant at the Sanford School of Public Policy, and was the director of events for the Duke Energy Club. After graduating, Ali is moving up to Boston to work in finance as an investment analyst. Congratulations, Ali. Kevin McLear. Kevin also Kevin also pursued a major in psychology. He was a member of multiple campus organizations, including Duke Cheer, Club Volleyball, DEFMO, Duke Overdose Prevention Club, and the MCAB Lab. He conducted research on the ecology and megafauna of the Duke Forest, as well as decision-making of the aging brain. He plans to pursue either a career in teaching, wildlife conservation, therapy, or zoological animal care. Congratulations, Kevin. Spencer Moyle. Spencer also minored in economics. Through his time at Duke, he pursued his passion for environmental conservation and sustainability. As a participant of Duke Engage, he dedicated a summer to supporting organizations in rural coastal North Carolina, addressing the socioeconomic impacts of climate change on the region. In addition, he completed a Stambach Fellowship at Dogwood Alliance, where he conducted comprehensive research on the impact of bioenergy with carbon capture and storage on deforestation, global emissions, and local ecosystems and communities to inform policymakers and lobbyists about the potential harms associated with this technology. Post-graduation, he is excited to start his career in the sustainability or ESG field. Congratulations, Spencer. Abigail Mon. Abby pursued a double major in environmental engineering and an environmental science and policy. She spent a summer studying engineering and Spanish abroad in Costa Rica. She volunteered in the Nonohui Lab and researched how environmental conditions affect plant dormancy. After graduation, Abby is moving to Nashville, Tennessee, to work at an environmental engineering firm focusing on water resources and wastewater management. Congratulations, Abby. Yuna O. Yuna also minored in biology. She spent 2 semesters at the Duke Marine Lab and 1 semester abroad in Sydney, Australia, studying coastal resource management. At the Marine Lab, Yuna was involved in the Marine Robotics and Remote Sensing Lab and conducted behavioral analysis on minke whales using a machine learning posing estimation program. After graduation, she's moving to Los Angeles to work as an environmental health and safety specialist. Congratulations, Yuna. Hira Rajavel. Hira also pursued a major in economics and a minor in English. She served as Associate Chief Justice for the Duke Student Government Judiciary and competed on the Duke mock trial team, where she was a team captain for 2 years. Hira also conducted research through Duke Engage, where she studied hurricane disaster relief and recovery efforts in the Bahamas. As a senior, she wrote an honors thesis on the economics department on environmental social governance investing, determining the company's stock price differential for better environmental practices. After graduation, she's moving to New York City and working at Davis Polk & Wardell LLC, where she will be creating M&A and IPO financial models. Congratulations, Hira. Michael Rees. Michael also pursued an African and African American Studies minor. Michael was a member of the Duke football team the past 4 years. As a senior, Michael conducted research investigating the impact of water levels on the growth and development of 4 new pit mouse species. After graduation, Michael will continue his studies at the Fuqua School of Business and pursuing a Master of Management Studies degree. Congratulations, Michael. Lauren Rice. Lauren also majored in International Comparative Studies and a certificate in Marine Science Leadership and Conservation. While at Duke, Lauren conducted extensive ecology research on Oahu, Hawaii. First, focusing on the impact of invasive mangroves and then researching a novel invasive species of marine snail. Lauren also held a position as a research assistant for an environmental justice firm and enjoyed working on environmental issues at the crux of policy, economics, and local communities for the majority of her college career. After graduation, Laurel will be taking a year to further her research before heading to law school. Congratulations, Lauren. Abigail Sachs. Abby has a double major in environmental science and policy and biology with an ecology focus. She spent a semester at the Marine Lab as a Rachel Carson Scholar and worked at the Duke campus farm where she did her senior thesis on the soil. She has also been involved, very involved, with Duke Climate Coalition and their divestment campaign. Thank you, Abby, and congratulations. Asna Sani. Asna majored in environmental science and policy and minored in political science. She was a part of Duke student government and the Environmental Justice Campus Committee. She also conducted research in the Wright Lab, examining disturbance and recovery of grasslands to understand the effects of climate change. During her senior year, she worked in the Environmental Justice Lab and with the UCLA Luskin Center, examining disproportionalities of housing in Durham and the Durham's transportation governance. This coming fall, Asna is moving to Washington, D.C. to enter the field of federal environmental policy and to get a cat. Congratulations, Asna. Talia Bonplanta Newman. Talia also double majored in computer science and Chinese. During her sophomore year, she worked at a renewable energy company focusing on clean water access. She then went to study abroad in Berlin, where she learned about international environmental policy. In her senior year, she conducted research on the Energy Transition Accelerator, a new climate finance initiative. After graduation, Talia is moving to New York to work at an investment bank and is hoping to return to the ESG team on which she worked last summer. Congratulations. Annie Walmuth. Annie has a double major in environmental engineering and environmental science and policy. She developed a model to optimize microgrid performance with energy storage integration, earning her the Eric I. Paz Award. After graduation, she plans to join Jacobs Energy and Power team in New York City. She's excited to travel with friends and family before starting her new role. Congratulations, Annie. Emily Sao. Emily also majored in statistics. She was involved with Duke Energy and Climate Club's executive board and led a student-run marketing agency, Pitch Story Lab. This coming fall, she will be completing a research Fulbright fellowship in Sydney, Australia, studying demand-side response programs for energy grid resilience. Congratulations, Emily. Finny Zhao. Finny also pursued a double major in economics with a certificate in sustainability engagement. As a senior, she researched climate resiliency policy in North Carolina that builds coastal communities' capacities to deal with climate hazards. At Duke, she has served as the co-president of the Duke Undergraduate Energy and Climate Club and engaged in multiple bus connections projects on restoration and resiliency. This coming fall, Finny will stay with us, continuing her study at Duke as a PhD in environmental policy, where she will be researching climate resiliency and community development. Congrats. Bridget Chu. Bridget also majored in mechanical engineering with a certificate in energy and environment. They were involved in independent research in lithium-ion battery recycling, Duke engaged in environmental justice and in leading student groups such as Duke Smart Home, Project Arts Orientation, Blue Devils United, and Green Devils. Their favorite times at Duke were working as a live sound technician at Coffee House, learning ASL as part of the club and house course, and taking care of campus cats, Peaches, rest in peace, and Mama Bean, happily retired. After graduation, they hope to dedicate their life to building a better world. Congratulations, Bridget.
Good morning, everyone. I apologize for the color blue. Nothing I can do about that. I apologize. Maybe I don't apologize. So I am pleased to present you the graduates for the Environmental Sciences program. Will the Environmental Sciences graduates please gather on the right side of the stage? Nicole Bolton. Nicole pursued minors in chemistry and biology. They studied at the Duke Marine Lab, and they have worked in community-oriented medical clinics in both Beaufort, North Carolina, and Queens, New York. During their time at Duke, they served as the Justice Co-Lead for the Undergraduate Environmental Union and the Co-Director for the Environmental Justice Campus Committee. Since their sophomore year, they worked for the Meyer Lab, researching the impacts of chemical and environmental pollutants on mitochondrial function. After graduation, they plan to take time off to focus on creative pursuits before applying to medical school with the goal of working in primary care. Congratulations. Ariella Chukwuma. Ariella also minored in inequality studies. She's a 2023 Udall Scholarship recipient, a national scholarship that recognizes future leaders in the environmental field. She studied at the Duke Marine Lab for a semester as a Rachel Carson Scholar, where she began her thesis project. As a senior, she conducted research on the cultural motivations of black fishers to consume their catch on the coast of North Carolina. After graduation, she intends to work with an environmental justice nonprofit before pursuing her PhD. Congratulations. Natalie Lewis. Natalie pursued a minor in biology, a certificate in health policy, and was a scholar in marine medicine. Her semester at the Marine Lab inspired a love of marsh grasses, salmon, and right whales. With her focus on environmental health and toxicology, Natalie has researched PFAS chemical policy in the United States and the cellular effects of PFAS exposure. Congratulations. Sloan McGuire. Sloan is an environmental science major with a concentration in marine conservation and a biology and cultural anthropology double minor. Sloan worked in the Gilbert Lab, where she studied microbial food web ecology. During her junior spring, she studied biological oceanography on Duke's RV Shearwater and traveled to Singapore to study tropical ecology through the Duke Marine Lab. She will apply to PhD programs to continue her interest in marine biology. Yedidia Mesfin. Yedidia also pursued double minor in biology and chemistry. She was a participant in Duke Engage, where she worked at the Durham Community Land Trustees, a local nonprofit providing affordable and sustainable housing for low and moderate income residents. In her senior year, she helped lead an initiative that funded over 30 Duke students to purchase fresh produce at the Durham Farmers Market. As a pre-dental student, she actively participated in the Duke Pre-Dental Society, dedicating many hours to shadowing dental practices. After graduation, she stayed in Durham as a dental lab assistant in the Triangle Restoration Dentistry, an office specializing in prosthodontics. Lali Ramirez. Lali is an environmental science major. Lali was a Rachel Carson Scholar for 3 years and worked on several research projects relating to aquatic ecology, urban conservation, and cultural anthropology. She studied at the Duke Marine Lab abroad in Sonora, Mexico. Lolly hopes to work in environmental restoration before applying for a master's program. Julie Senk. Julie also pursued an economics minor. She conducted research on microplastics at the Duke Marine Lab, Aquafarm as a Rachel Carson Scholar, and a Bonaventure Scholar. She also studied abroad in Sydney, Australia. She was part of a Basque Connections team studying plastic pollution and was Vice President of Communications for the Undergraduate Environmental Union. After graduation, Julie will be serving for the Peace Corps, doing climate resilience work in Tonga. Kate Silver. Kate also pursued a chemistry minor. She has been a member of the Bow Lab for 2 years, where she conducted her undergraduate thesis on PFAS, toxicology, and C. elegans. During her time at Duke, Kate volunteered with the Puppy Kindergarten, worked for the Patek and Kober Labs, and was an officer in several clubs. After graduation, Kate will be applying to veterinary school. Kaylee Sperling. Kaylee spent the past 3 years working in the Bernhardt Lab on urban watershed ecology. She completed a graduation with distinction with this lab, focusing on how urban contaminants in streams impact fish health. This fall, Kaylee will be starting a Master's of Environmental Science at Yale University with David Skelly, and her focus will be on amphibian ecology. Hayden Waters. Hayden also pursued a certificate in sustainability engagement. He traveled at the Duke Marine Lab and traveled to Mexico and St. Croix for travel courses. He lived in the Duke Smart Home and was a Project Wild orientation leader. After graduation, he plans to pursue a career related to climate resilience and green technology. Matthew Wolf. Matthew also minored in chemistry and history. He studied abroad during his sophomore year in Copenhagen, Denmark. Matthew researched offshore wind energy with the Dynamic Sustainability Lab and played club soccer. He's planning on working in the energy industry upon graduation.
Good morning, for the third time, maybe fourth. I am pleased to present to you the graduates in Marine Science and Conservation program. Will the Marine Science graduates please come to the stage? The following graduate is receiving the Bachelor of Arts in Marine Science and Conservation. Danny Collins. Danny also majored in biology. He conducted research on CRISPR-based biosensors as a Rachel Carson Scholar and Bonaventura Scholar at the Duke University Marine Lab. His research on marine and synthetic biology has led to journal articles, conference presentations, and patent applications. He was a junior on Duke's track and field team. After graduation, he will be pursuing a PhD in oceans at Stanford University as a Knight Hennessy Scholar. Congratulations, Dan. The following graduates are receiving the Bachelor of Science in Marine Science and Conservation. Zoe Alley. Zoe worked in the Gill Lab beginning the summer before her senior year. She studied procedural equity and inclusion decision-making for local and indigenous people living in or near marine protected areas. Zoe is a Baldwin Scholar, a Rachel Carson Scholar, and has been heavily involved with campus ministry during her time at Duke. This coming fall, she will start a master's program at Boston College where she will be studying religion and researching the intersections of ecology and religion. Congratulations, Zoe. Chloe Beidel. Chloe minored in biology and journalism and media studies. While at Duke, she competed on the fencing team and sang in the Duke Choral. She spent a summer at the Marine Lab studying trophic cascades and seagrass systems, then later transitioned her research to focus on the acoustic signatures of bottlenose dolphin breaths for preliminary lung health diagnoses as a Rachel Carson Scholar. She is spending the next 6 months in Maine working with Allied Whale and Bar Harbor Whale Watch Company and their marine mammal research initiatives before applying to PhD programs. Congratulations. Erica Burlick. Erica also majored in biology. She is a Rachel Carson Scholar who spent time at the Duke Marine Lab, abroad on travel courses, and in Durham studying marine biology and ecology. Her research in the Silliman Lab brought her to Panama, where she studied the relationships between tropical foundation species and reef fish communities. She will be applying to PhD programs to further pursue her research interests in marine ecology. Congratulations. Misaki Foster. Misaki also pursued a medieval Renaissance minor. During her spring, she spent a semester at the Marine Lab and went abroad to Singapore and St. Croix to study marine ecology. Misaki worked closely with Dr. Cindy Van Dover to study deep sea and echinoderm distribution at North Atlantic seamounts. She will apply to PhD programs to further study ecology. Congratulations. Catalina Lopez. Catalina also majored in biology. As a Rachel Carson Scholar and a Bonaventura Scholar, they studied at the Duke Marine Lab for over a year. There, they studied seasonal variation in estuarine fish physiology with Dr. Jaya Sundara to help better understand the impacts of climate change will have on marine species. After graduation, they are moving to Seattle, Washington to begin work in fisheries management. Congratulations, Catalina. And last but not least, Olivia Polomeni. Olivia also majored in biology. As a Rachel Carson Scholar, she completed research on deep-sea coral reef ecology in the Silliman Lab, which culminated into a senior graduation with distinction thesis. During her junior fall, Olivia co-founded Tide Talks, a seminar series in which Duke students of all majors could learn about marine research at Duke. This coming fall, she will be moving to Washington, D.C., working in environmental management. Congratulations.
Now it's time to recognize our interdepartmental majors. Would you please come to the right side of the stage? Rosa Golchin. Rosa pursued an interdepartmental major in biology and earth and climate sciences with a second major in political science. She completed a thesis in earth and climate sciences on aquifer thermal energy storage in Durham. After graduation, Rosa plans to pursue a master's degree in political science with a focus on environmental policy. Congratulations, Rosa. And Ryan Liu. Ryan pursued an interdepartmental major between public policy and environmental policy, with minors in computer science and political science. Throughout his undergraduate studies, he was an executive member of Scale and Coin, a producer with Operation Climate podcast, and a chair of the last day of class committee. Right? In his sophomore summer, he served as a policy and lobbying fellow at the League of Conservation Voters, providing support for advocacy efforts surrounding the Inflation Reduction Act. After graduation, Ryan will be working in executive compensation consulting in New York with the focus on ESG standards and pay practices. Congratulations, Ryan.
Let's have another round of applause for our amazing graduates. We'd now like to recognize our graduating Marine Lab scholars. This program's goal is to train the next generation of leaders in marine science and conservation through faculty-mentored research, experiential learning, and professional development. The Marine Lab scholars wear a teal cord to represent their dedication to be the next marine conservation leaders. They will each receive a gift at the reception following the ceremony. While we have scholars across many majors at Duke, we'd like to acknowledge our scholars in marine medicine graduating from the Nicholas School. Please stand when your name is called. Betty Alfaro Argueta. Natalie Lewis. Congratulations. We would now like to acknowledge our Rachel Carson scholars graduating from the Nicholas School by having them stand when their name is called. Zoe Ali. Chloe Beidel. Erica Burlick. Tanu Bowie. Christian Campbell. Ariella Chukwuma. Danny Collins. Masaki Foster. Catalina Lopez. Olivia Polameni. Lolly Ramirez. Abby Sachs. Jilly Sank. Congratulations. The accomplishments of all our graduates within the Nicholas School, within Duke's boundaries, and around the world is clearly amazing. Let's have a round of applause for these phenomenal students. In addition, some of these students have gone above and beyond in other ways while here on campus, and we want to recognize these graduates with special awards, beginning with Graduation with Distinction. The Graduation with Distinction program recognizes students who demonstrate academic excellence through the successful completion of a senior thesis based on substantive research project over and above requirements for their major. Each student will receive a gift at the reception following the ceremony. Please find Bailey at the tent outside. Will all students who earned Graduation with Distinction please stand when your name is called. Be sure to turn and wave to all those here supporting you today as we celebrate this impressive accomplishment. Please hold applause until after each student's name and thesis title is read. So I'm going to say their name and then the title, and then we'll clap. The graduate receiving Graduation with Distinction in Earth and Ocean Sciences, Christian Campbell. Thesis title, Population Genetic Structure of 3 Distinct Bottlenose Dolphin Populations off North Carolina's Coast, supervised by Dr. Tom Schultz. The graduates receiving Graduation with Distinction in Earth and Climate Sciences are Rosa Gulchin, thesis title, Bringing the Heat, a feasibility study on aquifer thermal energy storage in Durham, North Carolina, supervised by Dr. Brian McAdoo. Anya Gupta, thesis title, Hydration Melting in Olivine Bearing Zone 1 of the Stillwater Complex, Montana, supervised by Dr. Alan Boudreau. Yuan Kim, Thesis title, Empirical Correlation Analysis for Hydrogeologic Monitoring in the High Plains Aquifer, supervised by Dr. Avner Vengosh. Emily Nagamoto, thesis title, Estimating the Impact of Climate Change Mitigation Pathways on Premature Mortality from Non-Optimal Temperature and Air Pollution Exposure, supervised by Dr. Drew Schindel. The graduates receiving graduation with distinction in environmental sciences and policy are Betty Alfaro Argueta, thesis title, Assessment of Atlantic Bottlenose Dolphin Response to Oxygen Deprivation, supervised by Dr. Tom Schultz. Ta Nu Bui, thesis title, All Hands on Deck, The Effects of Biological Partnership on Turtlegrass Restoration Success, supervised by Dr. Brian Silliman. Rishab Jagatea, thesis title, Achieving Just Transitions Through Prior Consultation, Examining the Successes and Failures of Consulta Previa for Wind Energy Development in La Guajira, Colombia, supervised by Dr. Miguel Rojas Sotelo. Talia von Planta Newman, thesis title, The Energy Transition Accelerator as a Vehicle for Providing Low-Carbon Development Capital, Opportunities, Challenges, and Uncertainties, supervised by Dr. Jackson Ewing. Annie Wilmoth, thesis title, Optimizing Microgrid Performance with Energy Storage Integration, a Tool for Sustainable Grid Design, supervised by Dr. Luana Lima. Finny Zhao, thesis title, A Just Pathway Toward Resilience, Building Local Communities' Adaptive Capacity Through State-Level Funding Program, a case study of North Carolina, supervised by Dr. Betsy Albright and Dr. Liz DiMatteo. The graduates receiving graduation with distinction in environmental sciences are Nicole Bolton, thesis title, Impacts on MO1 Gene Expression on Indicators of Oxidative Damage in C. elegans, supervised by Dr. Joel Meyer. Ariella Chukwuma, thesis title, Fish Fries and Fishing for Food, Cultural Traditions Among African Americans on the Southeastern Coast of North Carolina, supervised by Dr. Grant Murray. Natalie Lewis, thesis title, The Effect of PFOA Exposure on Reactive Oxygen Species Generation in Hep G2 Liver Cells, supervised by Dr. Jason Samarelli and Dr. Tom Schultz. Lolly Ramirez, thesis title, Snails and Smells, Literaria iroratae are more likely to ingest polystyrene leachate when combined with positively associated environmental scents, supervised by Dr. Dan Richoff. Jilly Sank, thesis title, Sediment Accumulation of Microplastic Particles Under an Oyster Aquafarm, supervised by Dr. Tom Schultz. Kate Silver, thesis title, Molecular Mechanisms of Toxicity of Gen X and PFOA in C. elegans, supervised by Dr. Tess Luthner and Dr. Ryan Bao. Kaylee Sperling, thesis title, Investigating Variations in Eastern Mosquitofish Oxygen Consumption Rates Across Urban Streams in Durham, North Carolina, with Varying Stormwater Runoff Inputs, supervised by Dr. Emily Bernhardt. The graduates receiving graduation with distinction in marine science and conservation are Zoe Ali, thesis title, An Assessment of the Current State of Procedural Equity in Marine Protected Area Projects, Advancing the Presence of Equity in Decision-Making, supervised by Dr. David Gill. Chloe Beidel, thesis title, Exploratory Breath Analysis Using Acoustic Signal Processing of Bottlenose Dolphins in Barataria Bay, Louisiana, supervised by Dr. Doug Novacek. Erica Burlick, thesis title, Coexisting Foundation Species Shape Reef Fish Community and Trophic Structure at an Ecotone, supervised by Dr. Brian Silliman. Danny Collins, thesis title, CRISPR-based biosensors for the rapid detection of ocean life from diatoms to dolphins, and I was the supervisor. Catalina Lopez, thesis title, Temporal Variation in the Standard Metabolic Rate of Juvenile Atlantic Killifish, supervised by Dr. Nishad Jayasundara. Olivia Polomeni, thesis title, Reef Distribution and Niche Partitioning of Deep Sea Coral Ecosystems in the Gulf of Mexico, supervised by Dr. Brian Silliman. Let's have another round of applause for these phenomenal students and their amazing work.
Great work, everybody. Now we are moving to the part of the program where we'd like to honor 4 students who will be receiving the highest departmental awards. This is a surprise to some of them, so you can clap when they come up, and it's going to be really great to see them. But along with gifts they're going to receive today, their names are going to be recognized on a plaque located in Granger Hall. So students, if your name is called, please do come to the stage. I'm now going to invite Dahlia to come up to present the first award, which is the Sarah Lebowski Award.
The Sarah Lebowski Award is given annually to a graduating environment major in recognition of personal integrity and academic excellence. The award was established by Vicky and Peter Lebowski in memory of their daughter, Sarah Lebowski, who was an environmental science major at Duke in the 1990s. I encourage you to look at their website. It's beautiful and very inspiring life. For the first time, this award will go to 2 students. Both recipients will receive a framed Ansel Adams photo along with a monetary award. It is my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to our first recipient, Rishabh Jagatia. Rishabh, thank you. Thank you for all you did for our school, for Duke, for the environment, and for the global community. Thank you for your strong action, making us think about alternative ways to build an economic system and to have an energy transition with justice. I now want to invite Dr. Miguel Rojas Sotelo to say a few words about Rishabh. He was his thesis advisor.
Wow. Rishabh, great. My name is Miguel Rojas Sotelo. I teach for the Nicholas School of Environment and for Global Comparative Studies and Latin American Studies. And it's a great pleasure to introduce you to Rishabh. Rishabh Gagateya. His academic excellence is demonstrated in his nearly perfect GPA and the graduation with distinction that we really heard a little bit ago. At the same time, his commitment to the school, to the university, to local and global communities, and his intense desire to work for ethical solutions to alleviate the social and climate problems are evident in all what he does, and many of you are witness of that. Rishabh's senior thesis, Achieving Just Transitions Through Prior Consultation, examining the successes and failures of Consulta Previa in La Guajira, Colombia, is an important illustration of high-impact commitment to environmental justice on top of a great piece that brings us environmental justice in a lead force that connects present energy transitions to the need to decarbonize with the historical marginalization of indigenous communities in Colombia. In his thesis, Rishabh states, and I'm quote, "I'm motivated by the possibilities of a just, community-led energy transition that demonstrates power that alleviates harm and distributes benefits to communities left on society's margins, end quote. His sharp sense of justice, the capacity to work by himself, the humility of understanding the limits of our academic research, and his willingness to go beyond the apparent guides his work and his life. He understands how important it is to meet the subjects and places of his interest, and after graduation, he will spend 10 months in Colombia working with Wayuu indigenous communities in Riohacha, Guajira, on energy transition issues, alongside with energy leaders, with local scholars, industry representatives, to understand better how to, and I quote, just inform an equal energy transition that can happen in Latin America and for these indigenous peoples in Colombia, end quote. This work will be possible through the prestigious Heart Leadership Program Fellowship, which prepares students to practice ethical leadership in public life. And we have heard about Rishab's leadership at Duke on his quest for better ways to invest our wealth, to divest from fossil fuels. But finally, Rishab is a person that works not only on intellectual pursuits. He loves hiking, and he demonstrated it in our spring seminar, graduate seminar that he joined as an undergraduate in sustainable development in Colombia. He loves playing sports, dancing. He also sings in many languages, in Spanish in particular. He loves to cook with his friends, and he is a great, passionate friend. And then I'm going to give him also my Wayuu hat to take him to his next journey. Thank you.
Now, it is my great pleasure and honor to present our recipient of the Sarah Labosky Award, Abby Sachs. Abby, thank you. Thank you for your relentless, tireless work trying to make Duke lead by example. We'll keep trying. Thank you so much. I am going now to invite Dr. Betsy Albright, who knows Abby's work and has done a lot of, shares Abby's passion about divestment.
Good morning. So I've been very impressed with Abby's diligence, thoughtfulness, patience, and creativity in co-leading the Duke Climate Coalition's campaign for increased endowment transparency and divestment from fossil fuels. Under Abby's leadership, the student group wrote numerous reports, highly cited reports, scientifically grounded reports, and requests to the Advisory Committee on Investment Responsibility, or ACIR, ACIR, asking for consideration of divestment and increased transparency of Duke's endowment. She has communicated respectfully and thoughtfully with Duke leadership, was involved in a monthly seminar series on investment responsibility, has led awareness and protest campaigns, and has written in the Duke Chronicle to raise awareness. Her work with the DCC or Duke Climate Coalition, was even covered by Durham's own Indie Week publication, Earth Day edition. I encourage you all to check that out. It's a great piece. So in response to these efforts, Duke will aim, and everyone listen here, write this down. Duke will aim to increase transparency of the carbon intensity of its endowment moving forward, thanks to Abby and many others' work. So please join me in congratulating Abby Sachs on this Sarah Lebowski.
Coming to the end of our program here, and this year in the Nicholas School we've had an embarrassment of riches in the program, where last night our Masters in Environmental Management students, we had 2 top excellent students, we had 2 top excellent students in Environmental Science Policy, and we also have 2 excellent students in Earth and Climate Sciences. The Thomas V. Laska Memorial Award in Earth and Climate Sciences is awarded annually in recognition of an outstanding achievement and promise for the future field of Earth and Climate Sciences. It was established by Andy and Vera Laska in memory of their son, Thomas V. Laska, who was a geology major at Duke in the 1970s. This year, we have 2 recipients, and the first goes to Emily Nagamoto. In addition to being a member of the Duke rowing team, traveling to the Greenland ice sheet while studying abroad in Denmark, working at the Top 28 in Dubai, and leading the campus-wide Undergraduate Environmental Union, while maintaining a presence at every single Earth and Climate Science event, Emily Nagamoto distinguished herself as a model student and researcher. Emily both interned at the Lawrence Berkeley National Labs and worked for the National Weather Service as an Ernest F. Holling Scholar under the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration. She was also the youngest undergraduate researcher in Professor Drew Schindel's lab. Yes, Emily won a prestigious Outstanding Award Presentation Award amongst the thousands of presentations at the American Geophysical Union annual meeting in 2002. But here on campus, she consistently took the initiative to attend all of Prof. Schindel's lab meetings and quickly came to provide invaluable comments and questions on the work for the rest of the team. Older students and postgraduate students rapidly changed their view of her as the newbie undergrad to a core member of their team. During her time in this lab, she produced critical analysis using predictive climate scenarios to determine the impact of future health and labor outcomes. This work proceeded so well that Professor Schindel retained her on for an independent study the following semester, and she's staying on through graduation, contributing to a number of studies of how emissions reductions improve human health via reduced exposure to pollution and heat. Thank you, Emily, for all you've done for Earth and Climate Sciences at Duke, and for the important work that we are confident you'll continue in your next roles. It's been truly a pleasure. Our second recipient this year is Anya Gupta. The Earth and Climate Sciences Division got to know Anya after taking our Volcanology and the Geology of Hawaii class with Dr. Alan Boudreau, who's in the audience today. Well, I got to know her in my Experiencing Earth Sciences course, marveling at the quick friends she made with the scruffy mining engineer during a less exotic field trip to the lithium mine in Gaston County, North Carolina. Her passion for geology was ignited as she suffered well during this 10-day trip to Maui and the Big Island of Hawaii to see rocks in the making with Professor Boudreau. Anya went on to complete her senior thesis with Prof. Boudreau on the origins of the storied Stillwater Complex in Montana, the highest grade platinum-palladium deposit in the world, in order to gain a better understanding of some of the critical minerals that will fuel our energy transition away from fossil fuels. Anya presented her undergraduate thesis work at both the Geological Society of America and the Geological Association of Canada annual conferences, where more than one asked if this was her PhD project. Her senior thesis is now a published paper in Mineralium Deposita. Anya, you've been an inspiring role model to our division for students and faculty alike. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. Rock on.
So I will now present the Marine Science and Conservation Award. The award in Marine Science and Conservation is awarded annually to an outstanding student in recognition of academic excellence, outstanding research, and a passion for marine science and conservation. The recipient will receive a gift along with a monetary award. This year, the award goes to Danny Collins. I'm going to invite Megan Dunphy-Daly to come up and say a few words about Danny.
It's hard for me to know where to start talking about Danny, so I'm going to start by talking about when I first met Danny. I got to meet Danny online on Zoom for the first time when he was a student in my marine megafauna class in the spring of 2022. We all know how challenging that time was during the pandemic, and teaching a large class on Zoom was not easy in terms of connecting with students. However, I knew, even over Zoom, that Danny was special. A month into the semester, our class transitioned to in-person meetings, and I got to really experience Danny's passion and enthusiasm for science. I remember some of those marine megafauna classes in Love Auditorium that year, where Danny would have his hand raised to answer questions and would always come down after lecture to ask more questions. He showed up every day with a deep interest in marine biology and a passion for learning. I told him early on in that class that in addition to being a biology major, he should consider being a marine science and conservation major. My goal became convincing him to join our major and to apply to the Rachel Carson Scholars Program. Lucky for us, Danny did both. He declared a marine science and conservation major in addition to his biology major and visual and media studies minor. And I've been really honored to be able to work with Danny both as a student and as a Rachel Carson Scholar. Danny's deserving of this award for many reasons, but one reason is his academic ability and his independence of thought, especially through his experience conducting innovative research. Danny has found ways to use marine biology to enhance synthetic biology. He studied water bears to enhance the ability of synthetic probiotics to be freeze-dried, and this work, impressively, led to a U.S. patent with Danny listed as an inventor. Danny then continued his marine research by developing CRISPR-based systems to detect toxins from harmful algal blooms. As a Bonaventura Fellow at the Marine Lab last summer, Danny expanded his CRISPR-based biosensing system to be able to not only detect single-celled algae and bacteria, but also to detect large marine mammals like bottlenose dolphins. This creative approach is the first CRISPR-based system to detect marine mammals and will have wide-ranging applications. I could stand up here and talk about the other ways that Danny's impressive. He's a leader, engaging the broader Duke community in marine science topics by co-creating Tide Talks, which are marine seminars in a TED Talk style open to the public. He was a varsity track and field athlete at Duke and a leader there too. He led Duke's Team Impact, which pairs children with chronic illness with collegiate varsity teams. And he's really great at communicating his science, something that I've had the joy of witnessing during his senior year as he prepared for graduate school, applied for scholarships, and presented his senior honors thesis. I know that Danny will go on to do amazing things, and although I'm sad that he's leaving Duke and I'll miss our weekly meetings, I know that he'll keep in touch and he'll always be a member of our scholars community. Please join me in congratulating Danny on these incredible accomplishments.
You made it through. There you go. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
We will now recognize the Maggie Schneider Award in Marine Biology. This is given each year by the faculty to the Duke University Marine Laboratory, to the biology major who demonstrates the love of learning and service in marine and conservation biology. The recipient will receive a gift along with a monetary award. This year, the award goes to Catalina Lopez.
I get to talk about all these amazing students. I'm so proud. Catalina has truly embodied what it means to be a member of the Marine Lab community. They spent a total of 5 terms at the Marine Lab, pretty sure that's a record, and served as a residential assistant in the Marine Lab dorms for multiple terms. I first met Catalina in 2019 when they came to meet with me to talk about their marine science interests. Since then, I've had the pleasure of working with Catalina as a student in my marine megafauna and humans and changing oceans classes, and as a Rachel Carson scholar. And they were also part of our inaugural Bonaventura Fellows Summer Research Program in the summer of 2023. They've been an active participant in our scholars programs, becoming a member of the executive board, and serving in the mentor-mentee program for new scholars. They are always at Marine Community Coffee every Monday here in Durham at the early hour of 9:45 a.m., which we've learned is too early for many undergrad students. But Catalina is always willing to meet with prospective Duke students and prospective marine science and conservation majors at Community Coffee and tell them all about their amazing experiences on this path. It's been incredible to watch Catalina grow as a scientist during their time at Duke. They carried out senior honors thesis work with Dr. Nishad Jayasundara and studied the temporal variation in the standard metabolic rate of juvenile Atlantic killifish. For this project, Catalina spent a good portion of the summer learning how to catch juvenile killifish around the Marine Lab. I think one of my favorite pictures from that summer research that summarizes the experience is a picture of Catalina and Aaron Voigt covered in mud in the marsh in the middle of the night, but beaming because they finally got the right size killifish for Catalina's experiments. Catalina's perseverance paid off, and they did outstanding work measuring thermal acclimation in the species. I had the joy of getting to see their honors thesis progress, but really what I got to witness was Catalina coming into their own as a scientist. Catalina and I had many meetings in my office this past year, thinking about research, preparing for talks, and wrapping up that honors thesis. One of the most impressive things for me is that I got to see Catalina grow as a biologist to the point where, as an undergrad, they were presenting and sharing the research with graduate students and faculty at Nishad's lab meetings. I'm so proud of how hard Catalina has worked and how they've persevered as a scholar and scientist. Catalina is a prime example of a student who made the Marine Lab better, and we will always consider them a part of our community. Please join me in congratulating Catalina on these accomplishments.
All right, we're getting close to the end. I know people are probably getting a little hungry. There's only a few more. The Duke University Alumni Association recognizes graduating students from across the campus with the Forever Duke Student Leadership Award. Students who win this award embody the Forever Duke spirit in their service to the university. Recipients are individuals of high integrity who've done great things not only at Duke, but for Duke, and who exhibit qualities worthy of the award, including they are strong advocates for the Duke community. They embody Duke's guiding principle of knowledge in the service of society. They are leaving Duke a better place than they found it. We're honored to have one of the Forever Duke recipients as one of our graduating majors here today. It is my extreme pleasure to announce to you that Finny Zhao has been recognized with the Forever Duke Award. Congratulations, Finny. Come on up. Come on up. There, apparently you already got your certificate, so maybe, but I'm going to shake your hand. Congratulations. All right, next I have the pleasure to announce the winner of the Karen Kirchhoff Staff Award for Excellence in Mentoring Students. This award was established to recognize the incredible career of the late Karen Kirchhoff, the longtime Assistant Dean and Director of the school's Career and Professional Development Center. Karen was a true champion of our students and alumni and influenced the careers of thousands of students during her 27 years at the Nicholas School. This award allows students to recognize the considerable efforts of full-time staff who consistently invest their time and attention in the mentoring of students. It gives me great pleasure to announce that Erin Voigt, the program coordinator for the Marine Lab Scholars Program, has been awarded the Karen Kirchhoff Staff Award for Excellence in Mentoring Students. Erin, can you please join me on stage? Stand right there. I get to say some nice things about you. Erin has mentored undergrads in the Duke University Marine Lab Scholars and Climate Scholars programs. According to her nominator, Erin is approachable and easy to talk to. She listens intently and she engages with students deeply. Moreover, for those studying coastal and marine systems, Erin is an excellent bridge to the ocean, to ocean topics and ocean careers. We are so proud of the leadership that Erin has shown in mentoring so many members of the Nicholas School community. Please join me in offering Erin our heartfelt congratulations on this well-deserved award. Bring us home, man.
I have strict instructions from the dean. Bring us home. So, as we conclude our ceremony, I want to congratulate once again all of our undergraduates on their accomplishments and wish them well in the next chapter of their lives. Parents, just as you let them go from your home 4 years ago, we as faculty let them go with some sadness, but also with great pride. Lastly, I want to thank